The Young and the Restless spoilers, Tuesday, July 21. Welcome back to the channel, besties. Today is Tuesday, an absolutely beautiful day to dive into the absolute madness of Genoa City. And we are broadcasting straight from the studio floor because we just had to jump on here and vent. We are physically vibrating from the sheer audacity of today's tea. Grab your emotional support iced coffees because we are spilling all of it right now. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing. I am literally shaking. Wait, we need to talk about this now. If you thought the drama in Genoa City was peaking, you are genuinely straight up delusional because the stakes have just gone astronomical and my brain cannot even process the sheer cinematic mayhem we are witnessing. I am narrating this chaos like a high-octane psychological masterpiece where the stakes are literally life, death, and absolute public humiliation. I was mid-skincare and smeared charcoal mask all over the rug when I saw what was happening on my screen, and I literally had to yeet my phone across the room. We are not just watching this show anymore, besties. We are invested. My soul has actually left my body, and I am hyperventilating right now because the Abbott family is officially spiraling into a dimension of unhinged behavior that I didn't even know existed. Send help. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. Let's set the scene because Jack Abbott is finally returning home. Yes, the patriarch is back in the Abbott mansion, and Diane Jenkins Abbott is officially playing the role of the devoted, doting nurse to help him recover on his road to healing. On the surface, it's giving domestic bliss. It's giving, we survived the worst, but underneath, genuinely, it is a suffocating blanket of absolute terror. Jack is trying to heal, but his entire aura is completely shattered by everything that just went down with Patty Williams and that horrific padded cell situation. And Diane? Bestie, be for real right now. Diane is basically a walking, talking bundle of raw nerves. She is hovering over Jack, fluffing his pillows, but her eyes are constantly darting to the shadows because the trauma of what she just survived is completely eating her alive. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but Doctor Lawrence Markham is still out there. Did I say that yet? My brain is mush. Moving on. But seriously, Markham is still at large, and the psychological warfare this is inflicting on Diane is straight up cinematic. She is literally trapped in a state of perpetual fight or flight. Every time a floorboard creaks in that massive, echoey Abbott mansion, you can physically see Diane's soul leave her body. She is terrified of another ambush. She remembers the feeling of his hands around her neck in that car, the absolute darkness of being kidnapped, and the sheer audacity of this man just vanishing into thin air is making her completely paranoid. She wants the cops to find him. She is begging the universe for him to be locked up, but he is a ghost. It is giving major horror movie vibes, and I am genuinely terrified for her while also screaming at my screen for someone to just lock the doors. And this is where the plot goes completely off the rails, which is honestly so unhinged, because Diane, in her infinite trauma-induced wisdom, decides she needs to take matters into her own hands. She starts connecting the dots. She remembers that when she was held captive, Markham's creepy little hideout was absolutely stuffed with books written by Alan Laurent. And because Alan is the twin brother of the absolute psychopath Martin Laurent, Diane's brain basically does Olympic-level gymnastics and decides, hey, maybe I should contact Martin Laurent for clues. Bestie, what? You want to contact a literal psychopath to track down another psychopath? I am personally offended by this lack of survival instinct. It's a classic case of a psychopath hunting a psychopath, and Diane is totally living for this dangerous game. But I am screaming. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. Because just when you think Diane is about to do the most reckless thing in the history of Genoa City, Tracy Abbott steps into the chat. Tracy, the moral compass. The woman who usually just bakes cookies and writes best-selling novels while her family burns the city to the ground. Tracy hears this absolutely unhinged plan and decides, no, Diane. You are not doing this. I am doing this. You guys. Tracy Abbott is volunteering as tribute to contact Martin Laurent. I am literally shaking. Tracy believes that because of her history and her deeply empathetic soul, she is the only person Martin will actually confide in. She is taking this massive, terrifying risk to protect her family, and I am genuinely weeping at the character development. Let's just dissect this for a second, because it is a high-octane psychological masterpiece. Tracy has already proven she can play mind games. Remember when she cornered Patty in the park and manipulated her into revealing Diane's location? Tracy is officially in her badass mastermind era, and I am here for it. But reaching out to a deranged, obsessive former lover like Martin? That is a whole different level of danger. Tracy is risking her own sanity, her own safety, and basically throwing herself into the lion's den because she loves Jack and her family that much. She is officially off my do not perceive list and has skyrocketed to absolute queen status. But I am legit hyperventilating right now because Martin is so unpredictable. If he gets his hooks into Tracy again, the fallout is going to be catastrophic. And don't even get me started on the vibes in the Abbott mansion right now. Can we just take a completely random tangent about the aesthetic choices in that house for a second? The lighting is always so dramatic, like there's a permanent thunderstorm outside, and the way the shadows fall across the staircase while Diane is pacing back and forth. It's giving haunted Victorian mansion, and I am totally living for the set design. But also, buy some brighter light bulbs, people. Okay. Snapping back to the Marie. My grip on reality is slipping, but we have to push forward because the Abbott mansion isn't the only place where absolute chaos is reigning supreme. We need to pivot immediately to Newman Enterprises because I am genuinely unwell over what is happening between Kyle Abbott and Victoria Newman. Yes, you heard me correctly. Kyle and Victoria. Basically, these two have been circling each other for weeks, and normally, their entire dynamic consists of Kyle aggressively hating on Victor Newman and Victoria fiercely defending her father. It's been a toxic, argumentative loop of corporate and family warfare. But suddenly the vibe has shifted, and I am clutching my chest because I cannot handle the gravity of these events. Instead of screaming at each other about Victor's endless manipulations, Kyle and Victoria are suddenly sharing secrets. Intimate, quiet, hushed little secrets. I am straight up losing my mind. The walls are coming down. The hostility is melting into this weird, electric vulnerability. They are opening up to each other in a way that goes completely beyond their usual family feuds. It's like they are trauma bonding over the absolute circus that is their respective families, and the shift in their dynamic is so palpable it is practically vibrating through the screen. I am literally hyperventilating right now because this is the most insane pivot I have ever witnessed. And the sparks, you guys. The sparks are legit flying. I am personally offended and totally living for what Kyle just did. The tension between them is so thick you could cut it with a Newman-branded letter opener. They are standing just a little too close. Their voices are dropping an octave, and the eye contact? Bestie, be for real right now. The eye contact is absolutely feral. It is no longer just a business conversation. It is a full-blown romantic awakening, and I am screaming into my pillow. Are they actually going to do more than just talk? Is Kyle Abbott really about to cross enemy lines and hook up with Victoria Newman? Let's dissect Kyle's absolute mess of a psychological state right now because he is genuinely a walking disaster. This man is already playing with fire by secretly visiting Patty Williams in jail to make a dangerous revenge pact against Victor. Claire Newman literally warned him to back off, and what does Kyle do? He not only ignores Claire's warning, but he pivots and starts generating massive romantic sparks with Victor's oldest daughter. Kyle is officially on my do not perceive list because his survival instincts are completely non-existent. He is practically begging Victor to destroy him. Is he doing this because he genuinely feels a connection with Victoria? Or is this some deeply subconscious, twisted way to infiltrate the Newman family and get back at Victor? My brain is buffering just trying to figure out his motives. And Victoria? What is going on in her head? She is usually the Ice Queen, completely guarded and hyper-focused on protecting the Newman legacy. But she is stressed out of her mind over Victor taking control of Nikki's estate. She is exhausted, and suddenly, this younger, fiery Abbott heir is looking at her like she's the only person in the room who understands him. Is she entertaining Kyle because she's lonely? Is she doing it to subconsciously rebel against Victor's iron-fisted control over her life? Or is she genuinely falling for the Abbott charm? The psychological layers here are astronomical, and I am spiraling over their choices. If Victor finds out that Kyle is not only plotting with Patty but also making moves on Victoria, the explosion will literally level Genoa City. I'm calling it right now, besties. The villain arc is about to go nuclear, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update because there is absolutely no way this ends well for anyone involved. Between Tracy risking her life to contact a psychopath, Diane losing her grip on reality, Jack trying to heal in a house of horrors, and Kyle playing a romantic game of Russian roulette with Victoria Newman, my soul is exhausted. This situation is now my entire personality, and I am not okay. I am physically unwell, I am emotionally drained, and I will be sitting right here, staring at my wall, until the next episode drops. Stay safe out there, besties, because the tea is scalding and we are all going to get burned.